I look around me and I know my videos have gotten out that I'm being followed. Sometimes I think these people are here to help me, but nobody ever approaches me. And then, I'm like, okay, are they here to help? Or are they part of the ones that are attacking me? I have no trust for anybody. I know I should be able to trust people, but what I've been through, no, I don't. And I want to help this community, I do. I know I've said some things about it as far as how I can't stand being here. The only place I know is home, though, you know? But I'm so disgusted at the way I was treated. It's like, and you want me to help the community after the way that I was treated? When that was my goal, that was my plan. Instead, those bullies, those haters, those jealous people that couldn't stand to see me happy, couldn't stand to see me being something more than them. Now, I'm not going to put everybody down in the community, so please don't get that. But at this point, I don't trust anybody. And this is what you guys have done to me. You've made me that way. Am I the victim? Am I playing victim? I'm sorry, but I can only play the role that I am. And that's yes. I've been extremely victimized. I had everything from privacy rights, HIPAA rights, basic human rights, I've had corruption. I don't even know where to go with all of this. I've had my identity stolen. I've had my driver's license stolen. I've had my birth certificate stolen. I've had the plates off of my car stolen. So that kind of makes me think that, I bought my car from a very well-known car dealership. Not this one that I have, but my Mazda I had. I bought that from a very well-known car dealership in the area. And I saw the old registration. Let me just say that it wasn't an American name. Makes me wonder if all the keys were returned when the car got repossessed before I got it. Because I do believe several times that my car has been, I had gone out in the morning, and I don't go out very much at night because I don't see well to drive. So I try, to stay in. But I have gone out a couple of times in the morning and my back driver's door was slightly open. I've had to where, I know there's the technology where, you go to use your key fob to lock your door. Haven't you ever watched Gone in 60 Seconds? They have the scanners that can read those frequencies to your garage door, to your key fobs. And there has been times that I have gone to try to lock my car and my key fob wouldn't work. I'd try it several times, and it'd be a day or two before it would start working again. And I don't believe that was the battery. Because I never had a problem with it after that. So I believe that it was someone close to me at those points was trying to get the frequency off of my key fob. I know that one time I was down in Jesse Owens State Park and I was camping out down there, and there was somebody that was messing around my SUV, and I warned them that I was armed. Well, they ducked off. What woke me up was I heard my license plate hit my bumper. So I saw a shadow outside and I warned them that I was armed. And I saw them duck down and go off. And let me just say that, you can tell a very big afro in a shadow. Just saying. When I went out the next morning, that my license plate was half off. The one screw was laying on my bumper. I've had my home broken into. I've had so many things happen. And then you add on to the stalking and the harassing and the intimidating and not giving me any peace, I guess would be the word to say. And that's not supposed to fuck with my anxiety. Of course it is. But I'm not naturally a very anxious person. I'm a very calm person. I'm not vindictive. I'm not vengeful. I'm not violent. I'm the type that will tuck tail and run. But when you've tucked your tail and you ran and you've got people chasing you, still fucking kicking you. I mean, I sometimes I think that there's and I know you guys got control of my phone, but I see a background of what I'm thinking is a means of escape. But I'm trying to get settled. I'm trying to just live my life. And the mental abuse that this has caused me has got me to the point that I don't care to do anything. I have no goals, no ambition, no desires, no dreams. Because what I had was taken from me. It's I'm too old. I'm too old now to have those kinds of ambitions. Thanks. That's all I can say is thanks for taking that from me. I hope that makes everybody nice and proud that they destroyed me. I hope that makes you fucking proud. Hold that pride. I get fucking swarmed like I'm a fucking bad guy. Like, I've done something wrong, and I have not ever done anything wrong. I keep getting threats that I'm gonna go to jail. What the fuck have I done to deserve that? Because I've not. Because what is happening is being done to me. It's not something I'm doing for myself. That's what I do for myself. It's weed. I've known for years that I've been under some sort of investigation. And I don't know if I did say that I believed that the area, several of the counties in this area, needed internal affairs to come in and do investigations, RICO investigations. Because I do believe there's a lot of regional crime going on. Did that put me in danger? And I'm under some kind of witness protection? Because I'm telling you, if so, you're not doing a very fucking good job. Because I know I've not done anything. So I have no shame, no fear of being arrested for anything, because I've not done anything to be arrested for. I've always kept a very clean record. I made a couple of mistakes, but I've not ever done anything to deserve what I'm going through right now. Yeah, so I called some people some fucking names. I don't care about the names you call me, other than if it's completely out of my character, and that's like being a prostitute or a drug addict. I'm neither, and I would never be either. But I know that's been a couple of the titles that's been put on me. Call me a drunk. I've had 3 wine coolers in 2 fucking years. That makes me a really bad fucking drunk. I don't even like the taste of alcohol. I don't know what all this is about. But you guys are just really trying to get me to crack. So I have to go back to the fucking psych ward, causing me all of this anxiety. This is cruel and inhumane punishment for something that I don't do fucking nothing to deserve it for. Came back in this area where I'm at right now last year, and there was a girl that came in, and I think I left just in time because I think she was coming back here to harm me. She was carrying a golf club. I listen to these things they're supposed to be godly and shit like that, and honestly, I believe they're gang communication, to be honest. They're threatening, they're, talking about people's cars being tampered with. I don't know if it's the fucking mob or some kind of fucking gang, whatever, but that's what it sounds like to me, to be honest. And I noticed all of this started about 6 months after I opened the store. I started to say in one of my videos the other day about that, you know, they have a once a month meeting for like the downtown business owners of the area. And, we were a new business, so we went to the meeting, introduced ourselves. And this is why I think that, it's the pay to play bullshit with the corruption in the area, because, well, I wasn't even there back into my store after that meeting. I don't know, maybe 2 hours tops. And I had zoning there fining me. Wasn't that a great fucking welcome to the neighborhood? They refused to allow me to use an existing signpost. And that's what they fined me for, was for, zip tying a banner on it. And if I wanted to use that because of some zoning that they changed, I had to pay like something like $750 to use it. Well, I couldn't advertise. Nobody knew we were even there throughout the winter, because the only way anybody even knew I was there is I would have to pull out a sidewalk sale. You know how every customer go, I didn't even know you was here. Well, yeah, of course you can't, because the city's refusing me to allow to advertise. That's the pay to play bullshit that I was dealing with. And then they come in and try to set my store up to set me up. And they end up, my store gets robbed by supposedly a reputable auction company. And they wouldn't even allow us to make a police report. So that makes me go, okay, maybe it wasn't a robbery, it was a seizure. So why was they seizing the store? Because there was no reason they should have. That's theft by deception. And the auction company that I hired, they were only supposed to do an online sale of a certain amount of items. Well, what they were doing was they were bunching a bunch of them in one lot, selling that entire lot for $1. And each one of those items should have been at least a $10, $20 bill. Then they were having their friends buy those lots and resell them on a different site, because I went searching. And here's another point. Okay, well, let me go back with that. Okay, that was only supposed to be the online auction. When I allowed them to allow the customers to come and pick shit up from my store, when I went back, my store was empty. Empty. They completely robbed every piece of merchandise I had in my store, not just the online auction items, and left me a $50 money order in my drawer. I don't care how you say it. That is robbery. That is theft by deception. And I went to the police station to make a report. They wouldn't even allow us to make the report. He talked to the auctioneer company owner and came out and said, "We're not taking a report." What? Why? How is that allowed? And then, the anxiety of losing my business and me and my relationship going through some trouble. Yeah, I was having a little bit of a breakdown. But now that I sit back and think about it, that's when I was being drugged against my will, unknowingly. I didn't realize it at the time, but I do now. So I flipped my head. And the first time I did, not only did the ambulance come to get me from my home, there was like 3 cops, Department of Homeland Security, and the ambulance for a supposed suicidal person, which I wasn't. I was just extremely pissed off and ranting. They take me to, I don't know, some psych ward, which I believe that honestly, it felt more like a jail psych ward. I show them the pamphlet that they gave me that said that I had rights to read my chart. Well, with the nursing background, I wanted to read my chart. I wanted to see what they were saying about me. They absolutely, blatantly refused me to see my chart. And when I showed them the paperwork that they gave me that said I had the right to do that, and I was objecting about it, they threatened to inject me with something to calm me down. That's sedation by coercion. Then they send me to Cleveland Clinic mental health facility for a follow-up. I walk in there and they call me by my maiden name that I hadn't used in 26 years. And I'm like, how did you know my maiden name? She says, we got records here that show that you were a juvenile delinquent. Stop. Juvenile records. Sealed. Have to be signed. There has to be a legitimate reason for those records to be opened. Not only opened, but to be shared illegally with a mental health facility that I had never attended before. Corruption. Yeah, that's what I experienced. That's just recently. That's just a scratch on the top of the surface of that. But I have dealt with corruption in that same county prior to that. And after. Well, not me specifically, but something happened to him that shouldn't have happened. That was corruption from the same county. So, that's what I'm saying. I have blasted that stuff. So me bringing that to the surface and putting that on the internet has brought attention. So that makes me start feeling like, who is that? That Snowden dude, the whistleblower. And that's just, the one incidence of corruption recently in that county. Another county, yep, dealt with corruption in that one as well. I blasted it. There's some things in these counties that need to be addressed, and there's no means to address them. As far as homes being contaminated with mold, I tried to go through the health department. There's not even anybody in the county to inspect homes for such things, much less do air quality tests. And these homes, I can guarantee you, there's ones, unless they've been remediated specifically, every one of them's got mold in it. But, me calling that out has caused this kind of bullshit. I know that an FBI agent came into my store. He called me. I hadn't gone to the store yet. He went to open, and he calls me and says, there's someone here that wants to talk to you. And I'm like, all right, I was just about to get in my car. I get there, and here it's an FBI agent. Or she said her son was an FBI agent, and she had on a recorder, and she was recording everything. Okay, I don't got nothing to hide, so good luck with that. I believe an undercover cop came in just to nose around the store, probably after one before that came in and planted something. He got so invasively nosy that he thought he had the right to come into my office and nose around in my office. Isn't that an illegal search if he was a cop? So that's where it is. And that, I don't know who is doing this where they're shooting the shit on my vehicle. The two articles that I read on Quora said that our Alphabet Boys, several of their departments are doing the gang stalking to elderly women or elderlies to cause them to get anxious and delusional so that they can get them put in psych wards. I ain't the motherfucking one.